This is a pretty landmark judgment from the Supreme Court, which has the potential to impact, many people around the country, especially in certain industries like manufacturing, etc. And I'll explain why. The judgment per se is essentially looks at the aspect of what is the pay which should be taken, what is the basic salary which should be taken, on which the Provident Fund contribution should be calculated on. That's essentially what the question before the Supreme Court was. Now, this is what the Supreme Court is actually saying. Supreme Court is saying that special allowance is part of basic pay. They're saying that allowances in question, essentially part of the basic wage, were camouflaged by employers, by companies, to avoid deduction and PF contribution. Appeals by establishments, which is corporations who were sort of arguing against this in the court, therefore merit no interference. Appeal preferred by the Regional Provident Fund Commissioner deserves to be allowed. This was EPFO, which had gone to court a couple of years ago. This is not a new matter. It has been in the court for the last many years. And now the Supreme Court is coming out and saying, well, for the purpose of calculating what should be the total basic salary on which both the employer contribution and employee contribution should be calculated on, needs to be the total legitimate basic pay, which includes basic salary plus special allowance. Let's just rewind a little bit and tell you what used to happen. The law essentially says that if the basic salary is up to 15,000 rupees, then PF has to be calculated at 12%. The employer contributes 12%, the employee, 12% of is also contributed by the employee. But in reality, what used to happen is that for example, if somebody's pay is 15,000 rupees, lots of companies used to split that 15,000 rupees into, some which was classified as basic salary and other as special allowance. You could take, you could split 15 into 9 and 6, 9 basic and 6 as special allowance. What that allowed companies to do is basically pay or contribute only 12% on 9,000 rupees, which was classified as basic income, basic salary. What the Supreme Court is now saying is that, well, you can't do that. You have the definition of basic pay includes all emoluments, including special allowance. So so 9,000 basic salary, looking at the previous example, you have to add that 6,000 rupees to it, and then you have to calculate the contribution of the employer 12% as a percentage of 15,000. Prima facie, this will impact anybody whose salary is within that 15,000 odd rupee mark. All domestic workers, basically, whose salary is up to 15,000 rupees. If your pay is over 15,000, contribution is anyway voluntary. You may actually choose to contribute at 15,000, or you can actually take the full salary. If it is higher than 15, so be it, and choose to contribute at the rate of 12%.